Every human being faces struggles, yet most people see them as punishments rather than preparation. The truth is, life does not send you struggles to break you down, but to lift you up to a higher level of awareness and ability. When you begin to recognize that the obstacles in front of you are part of the process that molds you, then suddenly you stop asking, "Why me?" And you start asking, "What can I learn from this?" That shift in perspective is the first step toward becoming unstoppable. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. Think for a moment about any great achievement in history. Behind every success story is a trail of obstacles, setbacks, and detours. The people who achieved greatness were not the ones who never faced struggles, but the ones who allowed those struggles to prepare them for the vision they carried inside. Life gives you exactly what you need to grow, not always what you want to have. If you want to build strength, you will be given situations that test you. If you want patience, you will be given situations that challenge your ability to wait. If you want courage, you will be placed in circumstances that demand boldness. Struggles are the gymnasium of the soul, and preparation is the real gift hidden in what you call hardship. Most people are quick to resist discomfort. They want the reward without the process, the harvest without the planting, the crown without the cross. But preparation never works that way. The struggle you're going through is training you in ways you can't yet see. When a seed is buried in the soil, it looks like darkness, pressure, and weight, but it is exactly that pressure that causes the seed to break open and grow. Your life is the same way. Without the weight of your struggles, you'd remain dormant, never realizing the power within you. You must understand that struggle always comes before expansion. The universe has a law: what you can carry will always grow larger. If you can handle small struggles, life will entrust you with bigger opportunities. But if you run from every difficulty, you remain stuck where you are, never moving into the bigger version of yourself. Preparation is not punishment, it is promotion. It is life's way of asking, can you handle more? Can you grow into the person you've been dreaming of becoming? If you are going through a storm today, it is because there is a future on the other side of that storm that requires you to be stronger, wiser, and more disciplined than you are right now. Think about a diamond. At first, it is only carbon, nothing special. But under pressure and heat, it transforms into one of the most valuable elements on Earth. The struggle was the preparation. Without it, the diamond never shines. Your story is no different. The moments you feel most pressed, most challenged, most stretched are the moments when life is chiseling away at the ordinary, so the extraordinary inside you can appear. So the next time you face a struggle, don't curse it. Don't see it as life being unfair. Step back and say to yourself, this is my preparation. This is my training. This is my proof that I am being prepared for something greater. When you reframe your struggles this way, you stop being a victim of circumstances and become the architect of your destiny. You start to realize that every difficulty has meaning, and every pain has a purpose. You were never meant to stay ordinary. Struggles are the bridge that carry you from who you are to who you are meant to become. They prepare you for the vision and opportunities and the blessings waiting for you. Embrace your struggles with gratitude, because they are not punishment. They are preparation. And preparation, when embraced, is what makes you truly unstoppable. It is not the struggle itself that defeats us, but the meaning we attach to it. Two people can face the same difficulty, and one grows stronger while the other collapses. What makes the difference? It is not the size of the problem, but the perception of the person. Your mindset, the lens through which you view your struggles, determines whether you see them as obstacles or opportunities, as setbacks or stepping stones. Life is neutral. It is your interpretation that gives it power. When you shift your thinking, you shift your entire experience. If you believe that struggles are signs of failure, then every time you encounter resistance, you will feel like you are losing. You will shrink back, retreat, and give up, because your mind has decided that difficulty means defeat. But if you choose to believe that struggles are signs of growth, then every challenge becomes proof that you are advancing. Resistance becomes validation that you are moving in the right direction. The very same situation that could crush one person becomes fuel for another simply because of how it is framed in the mind. Your interpretation of struggle is the difference between misery and mastery. Think of the way a sculptor approaches a block of stone. An untrained eye might see an ugly, heavy, useless rock, but the sculptor sees possibility. He sees the statue hidden within. He does not curse the roughness of the stone. He embraces it because he knows the struggle of chiseling is what reveals the beauty inside. That's the same way you must look at your challenges. The roughness, the difficulty, the setbacks. They are the chisel in the hand of life shaping you into someone greater. This is why mindset is everything. If you view your struggles as enemies, you will resist them, and resistance only makes them heavier. But if you view them as teachers, you will learn from them, and learning makes you lighter. You cannot always choose what happens to you, but you can always choose the meaning you give it. And when you control the meaning, you control the outcome. Consider how many people turn struggles into excuses. They say, "I can't do it because of what I've been through." Yet others turn those same struggles into reasons for success. They say, "I must do it because of what I've been through." Both groups faced pain, but one group saw it as a wall and the other as a ladder. The struggle did not decide. It was the mindset behind the struggle that did. Think about the power of reframing. Instead of saying, "This problem is here to destroy me," you can say, "This problem is here to teach me." Instead of "Why me?" you can ask, "What is this preparing me for?" That simple shift in language creates a shift in energy. You stop feeling like a victim and start acting like a creator. You stop asking for escape and start asking for strength. The same storm that drowns one ship carries another to shore. It's not the storm, it's how the captain steers. When you decide to see struggles as growth, something remarkable happens. You begin to expect them. You no longer fear them, because you know they are the price of progress. You understand that each difficulty is part of the process, so when it shows up, you welcome it like an old friend. And when you welcome struggle, it loses its power to paralyze you. Fear is replaced with confidence, and hesitation is replaced with momentum. The truth is that mindset turns mountains into molehills and molehills into mountains. Struggle is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Suffering is born when you decide that struggle is meaningless, that pain is pointless. But when you see pain as growth, when you see difficulty as preparation, then struggle becomes the pathway to your strength. So the next time life presses against you, pause and ask yourself, what does this mean to me? Because that answer is everything. Change the meaning, and you change the story. Change the story, and you change your life. Struggle is not what breaks you. The way you think about struggle is. Master your mindset, and you'll discover that every challenge has been a gift in disguise. A gift that can only be opened by the way you choose to see it. Strength is never created in comfort, it is born in resistance. Just as the body grows stronger when it pushes against weight, the human spirit becomes unstoppable when it is tested against adversity. The very moments that feel the heaviest, the ones that make you question if you can keep going, are the exact moments that are shaping you into someone greater. Without resistance, there is no growth. Without weight, there is no strength. The life you desire is built on the foundation of the struggles you endure and the resistance you overcome. Think about the process of lifting weights. If you pick up something light, something that offers no challenge, your muscles never change. You remain the same. Growth only begins when the resistance is greater than what you are used to carrying. It is uncomfortable, sometimes even painful, but that discomfort is the signal of progress. Life works in the very same way. When you face resistance in your relationships, your work, your finances, or your dreams, it is the pressure of those moments that gives you the strength to rise higher than you have before. Too many people see resistance as a reason to quit. They believe that if life were meant for them, the path would be smooth, easy, and effortless. But the opposite is true. Life confirms you are on the right path not by making it easier, but by testing you. Every setback, every difficulty, every obstacle is asking you, do you really want this? Are you willing to grow into the person who can handle what you are asking for? Resistance is not the denial of your vision. It is the doorway to it. Imagine a kite flying in the sky. It soars not because the wind is moving with it, but because the wind is pushing against it. Without resistance, the kite would never rise. It is the very opposition that creates the lift. The same is true for you. The winds of struggle in your life are not there to bring you down. They are the very force that enables you to rise higher than you thought possible. Every difficulty you face is not an anchor, but a push upward, if you let it be. Resistance has a refining power. It reveals the gaps in your character, the places where discipline is needed, the weaknesses that must be strengthened. Without resistance, you would never confront those areas, and you would remain fragile, unprepared for the opportunities you desire. Struggles expose what needs growth, and growth transforms weakness into strength. That is why you must learn to embrace resistance instead of running from it. Think about your own life. Reflect on the times you felt the weakest, the moments you thought you would never recover. Now look at yourself today. You survived, you endured. And if you look closely, you will see that you did not just survive. You became stronger because of it. That heartbreak made you wiser. That failure made you more determined. That loss gave you compassion and depth. The resistance you once wished would go away became the very reason you are stronger now. When you see resistance as an enemy, you become bitter. But when you see resistance as a partner, you become better. Every rep in the gym, every mile on the road, every obstacle in your path is shaping you. The question is not whether resistance will come, but whether you will allow it to build you. Strength is always the result of saying yes to resistance, of leaning into the weight instead of shrinking from it. So the next time you feel pressed, tested, or resisted, remember that you are being strengthened. The heavier the resistance, the greater the growth waiting on the other side. Life is training you, sculpting you, preparing you to carry the weight of your own potential. Resistance is not your enemy, it is your greatest ally. Embrace it, and you will discover a strength you never knew existed, a strength that makes you unstoppable. There are hidden powers within you that you may never discover until life pushes you into situations that demand more than you think you have. Comfort never asks you to dig deep. Routine never forces you to stretch. It is struggle that unlocks the reserves of strength, creativity, and courage buried beneath the surface of your daily life. Without the struggle, those powers remain dormant, unnoticed, and unused. It is only when you are pressed, tested, and stretched that you realize how much more you are capable of. Consider the moments in your life when you surprised yourself. Times when you thought you had reached your limit, but somehow found the strength to take one more step, to fight one more battle, to hold on one more day. That strength was always there, but it remained hidden until struggle demanded it. Struggles are like keys. They unlock the hidden doors of your potential. You don't discover resilience in the easy days. You discover it when everything feels like it's falling apart. You don't find courage when the path is clear. You find it when the road ahead is uncertain and fear threatens to paralyze you. The powers that make you unstoppable reveal themselves in the very moments you wish you could avoid. Inside every human being is a well of creativity. But most people only touch the surface because they are never forced to dig deeper. Struggles force you to become resourceful. They push you to think in ways you never considered, to innovate, to adapt, to reinvent yourself. Some of the world's greatest inventions, businesses, and breakthroughs were born in seasons of struggle. The mind, when pressed, taps into levels of brilliance that comfort would never demand. What feels like limitation often becomes the spark of inspiration. The same is true of courage. You don't build courage by wishing for it. You build it by facing what frightens you. Struggle awakens that courage. It calls out the warrior within you, the part of you that refuses to be defined by fear. Struggles expose your inner boldness, your determination, and your unwillingness to quit. And once you taste that power within yourself, you begin to realize you are capable of far more than you ever imagined. Struggles also awaken endurance. Endurance is the ability to keep moving when the excitement is gone, when the results are delayed, when the reward feels far away. Comfort never teaches endurance, only difficulty does. The long nights, the failures, the disappointments, they strengthen your capacity to keep going, to hold steady under pressure. Endurance is not glamorous, but it is the hidden power that separates those who give up from those who finish the race. Think of a piece of coal. By itself, it is ordinary, common, even unattractive. But when it is placed under pressure, something extraordinary happens. It transforms into a diamond. That transformation is not accidental. It is the result of struggle, heat, and weight. The same principle applies to you. Struggles awaken the diamond within. They bring forth qualities of character, strength, and brilliance that ordinary life would never uncover. So often, people pray for strength, for courage, for wisdom. But life does not hand these gifts in a neatly wrapped package. Instead, it gives you circumstances that require strength, situations that demand courage, challenges that force wisdom. The hidden powers you seek are already within you, and struggle is the process that draws them out. When you start to see struggle this way, it changes everything. Instead of dreading it, you start to welcome it. You begin to see each challenge as an opportunity to meet a stronger, wiser, braver version of yourself. Struggles are not proof that you are weak. They are proof that you are strong enough to grow. They are the invitation to discover the hidden powers within you that comfort could never reveal. You are more powerful than you realize. Your struggles are the mirror that reflects this truth back to you. When you embrace them, when you allow them to call out your best, you discover a version of yourself that is unstoppable. And once you have seen that version of yourself, you will never again doubt what is possible for you. Every struggle carries within it a hidden seed of advantage. On the surface, a problem looks like an interruption, a detour, or even a punishment. But if you lean in and look deeper, you will always find that every difficulty brings with it the possibility of growth, opportunity, or transformation that you could not have accessed otherwise. The challenge is not in whether the seed exists. The challenge is in whether you choose to search for it. Most people only see the pain in their struggles, and because they only see pain, they miss the lesson, the gift, the hidden advantage waiting inside. Pain is real, yes, but pain is also a teacher. If you look closely, you'll see that every setback in your life has taught you something invaluable. Maybe it taught you resilience. Maybe it forced you to change direction. Maybe it opened your eyes to relationships, talents, or possibilities you never would have discovered. The struggle itself is temporary, but the advantage it carries can last a lifetime. Consider how many success stories begin with failure. Great businesses are often born out of financial struggles. Strong leaders are often forged through rejection and disappointment. People who impact the world in powerful ways are usually the ones who had to face hardships that shaped their character. The struggle planted a seed, and when they nurtured it with perseverance, that seed grew into their advantage. If you ask those same people later in life, many of them will tell you that the moment they once wished away became the moment that defined their destiny. Think about the seed inside an apple. You can eat the apple and throw the core away, never realizing that inside that small seed is the power to produce an orchard. Struggles are like that. Most people focus only on the apple, the immediate situation, without realizing that inside the struggle is a seed with unlimited potential. If you plant it, nurture it, and let it grow, it can produce results far greater than the struggle itself. But you must be willing to see beyond the surface, to believe that advantage is there even when it is not obvious. When you adopt this perspective, struggles become less threatening. You begin to approach them with curiosity instead of fear. You ask yourself, what is the gift in this? What is this trying to teach me? How can this move me forward instead of holding me back? Those questions shift your focus from the problem to the possibility, from the pain to the potential. And when you shift your focus, you unlock the hidden advantage that others will overlook. History is filled with examples of people who turned disadvantages into advantages. Someone loses a job and discovers their true calling. Someone faces rejection and finds a path they were truly meant for. Someone suffers loss and learns compassion that allows them to impact others on a deeper level. The struggle seemed like the end, but in reality it was the beginning of something greater. The advantage was there all along, waiting to be uncovered. This principle also applies to everyday life. A difficult boss can teach you patience and leadership. Financial hardship can teach you discipline and creativity. A health challenge can teach you gratitude for life and inspire healthier choices. These advantages are not visible at first, but they grow in you as you walk through the struggle. And once they take root, they become strengths that nobody can take from you. So when you find yourself in the middle of a challenge, remember this: the struggle is not empty. It is pregnant with possibility. It holds within it the seed of an advantage that could change the course of your life. But it will only benefit you if you are willing to search for it, nurture it, and grow from it. The next time you face difficulty, resist the urge to complain or curse the moment. Instead, pause and say, there is a seed of advantage here, and I am going to find it. That mindset alone shifts your energy from defeat to discovery. Struggles may shake you, but they also shape you. They may press you, but they also plant something within you. When you learn to see every struggle as carrying a hidden advantage, you become unstoppable. Being unstoppable is not about living a life free of struggle. It is about choosing what to do with the struggles that inevitably come. Many people believe that only the lucky or the gifted can be unstoppable, as if it is some special condition reserved for a select few. But the truth is that being unstoppable is a choice. It is not about avoiding pain, but about refusing to let pain define your limits. It is not about escaping failure, but about deciding that failure will not be your final chapter. The unstoppable person does not deny the existence of obstacles. They simply choose to transform every obstacle into an opportunity for growth. When you look at those who have achieved greatness, you will see that they faced storms, setbacks, and disappointments just like anyone else. The difference is that they chose not to surrender to those struggles. They chose to turn wounds into wisdom and failures into foundations. Every person has the ability to make that choice, no matter their circumstances. The moment you decide that nothing will permanently stop you, you step into a power that makes you unstoppable. This choice is powerful because it shifts control from the outside world back into your hands. Most people spend their lives waiting for conditions to be perfect before they act. They think, when things get easier, then I'll move forward. When life is smoother, then I'll pursue my dreams. But those moments rarely come. Life will always present challenges. Waiting for perfect conditions is another way of saying you've chosen to stay stuck. The unstoppable individual decides to move forward despite the storm, despite the uncertainty, despite the fear. That decision alone sets them apart. Think about the people who rise after defeat. They are not the ones who had fewer struggles. They are the ones who refuse to let those struggles dictate their story. They chose to see setbacks as setups for comebacks. They refused to define themselves by what happened to them, and instead defined themselves by how they responded. That is the essence of being unstoppable. Your circumstances do not have the final word. Your choices do. This doesn't mean you won't feel pain. It doesn't mean you won't get tired, discouraged, or tempted to give up. Being unstoppable is not about never falling. It is about never staying down. Every time you rise again, you strengthen the muscles of resilience. Every time you choose to keep going, you build momentum that makes the next rise easier. Unstoppable people are not immune to struggle. They are masters at using struggle as fuel. Choice also brings clarity. When you decide to be unstoppable, you stop asking whether you can or whether you should. You stop negotiating with excuses. The decision has already been made. The only question becomes, how? That focus eliminates the energy wasted on doubt and fear. Struggle may slow you down, but it cannot stop you because your choice has already been made. You are committed no matter the cost. This is why being unstoppable is available to anyone. It is not about wealth, talent, or luck. It is about mindset, about the daily decision to keep moving, keep learning, keep transforming. The external conditions may not be in your control, but your response always is. And when you consistently choose to turn every trial into triumph, every pain into power, you create a life that cannot be defeated. So understand this, becoming unstoppable is not about what happens to you. It is about the choices you make in response to what happens. The struggles will come, but so will the opportunities. The failures will sting, but they will also teach. The pain will press you, but it will also shape you. What matters most is not whether life is hard, but whether you choose to rise, to learn, and to keep going. Make the choice today. Decide that no struggle will define your destiny. Decide that every challenge will be a stepping stone. Decide that your story will be one of resilience, strength, and transformation. That decision alone makes you unstoppable.